Perceived costs and actual costs are one of the most misunderstood parts about buying a home in any real estate market, with the most surprising expense coming from closing costs. In today's video, I will break down what those costs are, how much you can expect to pay, and what to watch out for so you're not caught off guard when you get to the closing table. If you're thinking about relocating this year and Vegas is on your radar, make sure you click the like button and subscribe for everything you need to know about living in Las Vegas. First things first, let me explain to you what closing costs actually are. Closing costs are going to be the fees and expenses that you pay for when you're finalizing your home purchase. They can include a combination of the following things. First is lender fees. These are going to be charges from the mortgage lender for processing your loan, credit checks, as well as underwriting. Next is going to be escrow fees. This is the cost of the neutral third party that handles the transaction, making sure everything is legally and financially squared away. This neutral third party is typically called the title company. Title insurance is next. This protects you and the lender from potential disputes over property ownership. So if there's any liens on the home, this is what's going to protect you as well as the lender. Next up is going to be recording fees. This is a cost for legally recording the deed with the Clark County, which is the final step before you receive your keys. Next is going to be prepaid costs. This can include things like property taxes, homeowners insurance, and mortgage interest that you pay upfront before closing. Now let's talk a little bit about how much closing costs specifically are here in Las Vegas. On average, buyers can expect to pay 2 to 5% of the home's purchase price. With that being said, let's put that into perspective. On a $400,000 home, closing costs could range anywhere from $8,000 up to $20,000. The exact amount depends on your lender, the price of the home, and the negotiated cost with the seller. Now, some buyers are surprised by how quickly these fees can add up, so it's important to budget them early on in the process. I want to share with you a quick story about one of my clients that I dealt with when they didn't expect some of these costs that added up in the end. For the sake of the story, let's call her Vanessa. Vanessa reached out to me and wanted to buy a home for the first time here in Las Vegas, and she had saved up for a sizable down payment, but didn't realize the additional costs that would come in the amount of $10,000 for closing costs. She was shocked because she wasn't prepared for the additional $10,000 expense. Even though this caught her by surprise, I was able to help her get through the buying process with what she had budgeted for. We ended up finding a home that she loved, and we were able to get it in contract, and through negotiations I was able to conduct with the seller, we were able to negotiate with them to cover all of her closing costs. Now, negotiations are going to be my favorite part about being in real estate because I work for my clients to make sure that they get the best deal that works for them and their budget. Working with a knowledgeable real estate advisor is so important because I can help you navigate these surprises and even help minimize the financial impact. Now, closing costs are just one of the hidden expenses of buying a home here in Las Vegas, but they don't have to be a surprise all the time. With the right preparation and guidance, you can navigate these things like a pro. Here are a few tips to manage and reduce closing costs that I recommend. Shop around for lenders and always compare the fees to get the best deal. You can ask your seller for concessions, which means your agent, aka me, can negotiate for the seller to cover some of your closing costs like I mentioned to you in our story about my girl Vanessa. I also recommend using a closing cost calculator. You can find plenty of these online, and these are going to be used all the time for my clients to help estimate the costs that are going to be based on your home price as well as the loan details. You also should understand prepaid versus closing costs. Prepaid costs are things like the home inspection, earnest money deposit, as well as appraisal fees. Closing costs are going to be things that you pay at the end of the transaction before you actually close on that home. Now, something that I want you to remember when it comes to buying a home is that even though mortgage costs might be at the top of your list, don't overlook property taxes and homeowners insurance because these two items often catch buyers off guard. Let's start with property taxes in Nevada. Here, property taxes are calculated based on the property's assessed value, which is typically a fraction of its market value. The average property tax rate in Las Vegas, Nevada is around 0.44%, which is significantly lower than the national average. Let's take a deeper look at what this could look like. For a $400,000 home, you might pay anywhere between $2,100 to $3,000 annually for property taxes. Now, keep in mind, tax rates vary depending on where the home is located, like certain areas in a master plan community, or if they have special improvement districts, which is called a SID, or a local improvement district, which is called a LID. Now, if you don't know what that means, these are fees that the home builders place on home buyers to pay for utilities in these new home areas. It's important to know about these costs up front to avoid surprises when you're budgeting for your next home purchase. Now let's talk about homeowners insurance. This is essential for protecting your investment and is typically required if you're financing your home. In Las Vegas, the average cost of homeowners insurance is around $1,360, all the way up to about $1,700 per year, depending on the size of your home, its location, and the coverage you choose. Now, here's a couple factors that I want you to consider when you're thinking about homeowners insurance. Since we are here in Las Vegas, Nevada, we're in a desert climate. This means we're in a place with high winds extreme heat, and potential for wildfires, so you can expect insurance rates to be impacted by this. Flood zones. Even though Las Vegas is in a desert climate, certain areas are designated flood zones. If your home is in one of these areas, you'll need additional flood insurance. This can typically add up to $500 to $1,000 annually to your cost. Here's a tip that I share with all my clients. Always factor in property taxes and insurance into your monthly budget before you start house hunting. One of my clients in the past fell in love with a home but didn't realize the property taxes in that specific area were much higher due to the local improvement fees. When you plan ahead, you can avoid this by making sure you're financially comfortable in your new home. Here's some other things that I would also recommend. Consult with a real estate advisor, aka me, because I can help you understand the tax implications for specific neighborhoods or communities. You also want to get multiple insurance quotes early. You should always reach out to multiple providers to provide coverage and premiums before you even make an offer. If you have questions about property taxes, insurance, or anything else about buying a home in Las Vegas, make sure you drop them in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my new upcoming videos. When you're buying a home here in Las Vegas, one hidden cost you'll likely encounter are going to be HOA fees. Whether you're moving to a luxury master plan community or a cozy condo, homeowner association fees are inevitable. HOA fees are very common, especially in newer developments in master plan communities. In fact, 60% of the homes here in Las Vegas are a part of an HOA. Now, HOA organizations are designed to maintain the appearance, safety, and the value of the neighborhood, but they do come at a cost. Now let's talk about the numbers. HOA fees in Las Vegas can range anywhere from $50 to $500 per month, depending on the type of community. Now, these fees are typically going to cover a few different things, so let's cover them right now. First is going to be amenities. This can be pools, gyms, clubhouses, and parks, which are included in master plan communities. Next up is going to be landscaping. This includes the maintenance of the common areas like green spaces and the walking trails. Security is going to be next. Some HOAs have gated entrances or even private security patrol cars. Next is going to be community events. This can be activities like holiday gatherings or neighborhood block parties. This is also going to include repairs and upkeep of the community. This is going to be maintenance of shared structures like the roofs, elevators if you're in a condo, or even the roads on private communities. Now keep in mind, some HOAs also charge an additional fee for things like special assessments or transfer fees when you buy or sell a home. You should also remember that not all HOAs are created equal. Let me give you a few examples. High HOA fees. Communities like McDonald Highlands or the Ridges in Summerlin have HOA fees that can exceed $300 to $500 a month. Now you might be asking the question, why so much? Well, these luxury communities often include gated entrances, golf courses, high-end amenities, and private security. On the other hand, you have low HOA fees. Communities like Cadence and Henderson or smaller subdivisions in the Northwest may have fees closer to $50 to $100 per month. Now here's a pro tip. Always check the HOA's financial health and rules before you buy your home. Some buyers are surprised by the strict regulations like limits on exterior paint colors or restrictions on parking when they buy a home. Now, if you're concerned about buying a home with HOA fees, here are a few tips to help manage them. Understand what's included. Make sure the amenities and services align with your lifestyle. Ask about assessments. Find out if the HOA has any planned special assessments, which could mean extra costs. As I mentioned, review your HOA rules. You should familiarize yourself with restrictions to avoid surprises later. Next, you're going to want to consult your real estate advisor, aka me, because I can help you find neighborhoods with HOAs that match your budget as well as your preferences. Whether you're new to my channel or you've been here for a while, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Chris Brown and I'm a real estate advisor with Simply Vegas. Here on my channel, I help you find your new home, whether you're a local or relocating from somewhere else. I would appreciate it if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and click the bell so you don't miss any of the good, the bad, the ugly about living in Las Vegas. If you happen to be watching on your TV, scan the QR code on your screen so you don't miss any of my new upcoming videos. If you would like to reach out to me directly, you can call me, text me, or email me using my contact information linked in the description below. Now, maintenance costs can sneak up on you, especially if you're not prepared for them. Whether you're buying a brand new home or a home that's 20 years old, maintenance is inevitable. Here's what you can expect. With newer homes, even though it is less likely major repairs are going to be needed, they still require ongoing maintenance like HVAC tune-ups, appliance upkeep, and sealing the windows to prevent desert dust from creeping in. Now, if you're buying an older home, this often comes with additional costs for repairs like roof replacements, plumbing issues, or updating outdated systems. A general rule of thumb is to budget 1 to 3% of your home's value annually for maintenance. On a $400,000 home, that's $4,000 to $12,000 per year. Now, living in Las Vegas comes with some unique maintenance challenges you might not encounter anywhere else. First is going to be AC upkeep. With triple-digit summer temperatures, your air conditioner is going to be working overtime. I always recommend regular maintenance such as cleaning the coils, replacing the filters, and this can cost around $150 to $300 annually. Now, major costs to your HVAC system can go anywhere from a couple $100s to a few $1,000s. Next is going to be pool maintenance. Many homes in Las Vegas come with pools, which is going to be great for cooling off, but they require regular care. Now, I have a pool myself, and I have a pool guy that comes every Monday to clean my pool, check the filters, and make sure it's in good shape. You can expect to spend about $80 to $200 per month for professional pool service, or you can invest in time instead of using your money for DIY supplies and cleaning your pool yourself. Now, like I mentioned to you, I have a pool guy myself because I don't have the time to dedicate to cleaning my pool, and I pay about $180 a month for that service. Next is going to be desert landscaping, and because we are in a desert climate, we're always looking for ways to maintain water here because of the shortage. You should plan for expenses like replacing drip irrigation systems, trimming your plants, and maintaining the rock or gravel at your home. Now, these costs can vary, but routine landscaping might set you back about $500 to $1,000 annually. Now let's get into utilities. Beyond the mortgage and HOA fees, one cost you'll definitely want to prepare for here in Las Vegas is utilities. From managing high electricity bills during the scorching hot summers to understanding what water conservation in a desert looks like, you'll need to know about utility costs here in Las Vegas. Let's start with the biggest utility cost for most Las Vegas homeowners, which is going to be electricity. With temperatures regularly hitting 110 or more during the summertime, your air conditioner is likely to run nonstop. The average monthly electricity bill here in Las Vegas is anywhere from $150 to $200, but during the summer months, it can go anywhere from $300 to $400 depending on the size of your home and how energy efficient it is. Now, homes with outdated insulation, older HVAC systems, or large windows without proper sealing can have a higher electricity bill. The good news with this is Nevada Energy offers time of use plans and rebates for energy efficient upgrades that help you manage these costs. Now, water is another important utility here to consider, especially because we live in one of the driest climates in the country. The average water bill here in Las Vegas is around $40 to $80 per month, but this can vary based on your landscaping as well as your household size. Las Vegas does have a strong emphasis on water conservation with incentives to replace grass lawns with desert-friendly landscaping. One thing to keep in mind is homes with large pools or grass lawns will see much higher water usage and higher bills. And speaking of pools, in recent years, Las Vegas mandated that any pool being built cannot exceed 600 square feet. This water mitigation strategy was implemented by the city so that water can be saved throughout the valley. Let me share with you a quick story about one of my clients who was a first-time home buyer who was shocked when their summer electricity bill hit $450. They had just moved into their home and it had older windows with minimal insulation. I was able to connect them with a local contractor who specialized in window film insulation, and they were able to apply for an insulation rebate through Nevada Energy. Their next bill dropped nearly 30%. Here's some of my top tips for managing utility costs here in Las Vegas. Upgrade to energy efficient windows. Double pane windows or window film can significantly reduce cooling costs. I would also install smart thermostats. This can help optimize your air conditioner usage and save you up to 10% annually on your energy bills. I would definitely consider solar panels because with all the sun we get, solar panels can be a great long-term investment. Now, when you're planning your utility budget, here's some things that I want you to consider. Your electricity budget is going to be anywhere from $200 to $400 a month depending on the season. Now, water, you can estimate between $50 to $100 per month and higher if you have a pool or a grass lawn. Gas can be anywhere from between $30 to $60 a month for cooking and heating in the winter. Now, trash and sewer are often going to be billed together, averaging between $40 and $50 per month. That means your total monthly utility cost for a Las Vegas home can be anywhere from $300 to $600 a month, so it's important to factor this into your overall home buying budget. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being extremely, how prepared are you to handle heat and the effect it has on your utility bills here in Las Vegas? Vote in the comments below. Let's talk a little bit about moving expenses. Now let's start with the actual move. Whether you're relocating from across town or from another state, here's what you can expect. Hiring professional movers for a local move in Las Vegas typically costs $500 to $1,500, and it depends on the size of your home and how much you need moved. Now, long distance moves like moving across the country can range anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 depending on the distance and the weight of your belongings. Storage. If your moving date doesn't align perfectly, you might need to rent a storage facility. Storage units in Las Vegas can cost anywhere between $50 to $200 a month depending on the size and the location. Now here's a pro tip. If you're looking to save money, you should consider renting a moving truck or asking friends and family to help you, especially for a local move. Now another often overlooked cost is setting up utilities, so here's a quick breakdown. Some utility companies here in Las Vegas like Nevada Energy or Southwest Gas may require a deposit if you're a first-time customer. Now these deposits can range anywhere between $50 to $300. You're also going to deal with activation fees. Setting up water, sewer, and trash services with the Las Vegas Valley Water District might cost an additional $50 to $100. If you need internet and cable, installing high-speed internet or cable can add another $50 to $200 in fees. To avoid surprises like this, you should contact the utility providers in advance so you understand what's really required. Now, as a real estate advisor, I've seen many of my clients get overwhelmed trying to do everything at once, so here's some of my advice. Start only with the essentials. Focus on what you need to live comfortably with right now, things like the bed, basic kitchenware, and window coverings. Always set a budget. Be realistic about what you can afford without overextending yourself. If you buy an older home and there's some upgrades that you need to make sure you're doing that over time. Think about your home as a long-term investment. You don't have to make every change immediately. I always remind my clients, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is your dream home. One of the biggest mistakes I see home buyers making is focusing only on the price of the home. There's so much more to consider, like closing costs, moving expenses, utilities, and ongoing maintenance. In Las Vegas, these hidden costs can add up to 2 to 5% of the home's purchase price, or even more depending on your situation. That's why it's crucial to calculate the total cost of buying your home before you make an offer. You don't want to be house rich and cash poor. Let me share another quick story with you. I recently worked with a couple who fell in love with a home in Summerlin. They were ready to make an offer, but after we ran the numbers, they realized they didn't account for the HOA fees or the $6,000 in closing costs. With a little planning, we found a different home that fit their budget and their lifestyle, and they were able to avoid being financially squeezed. The takeaway from this was when you plan ahead, it can save you money and unnecessary stress to set you up for the long-term success. For more videos about relocating to Las Vegas or Henderson, click on one of the other videos on the screen. I appreciate you all watching. I'll see you on the next one.